Welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Hello. Hello, everyone.
Suite number 14?
Number 14.
I don't know.
Number 14 of the Warehouse Cardcast
Cardcast.
with Nate and Mike.
Welcome to the warehouse.
Or Mike and Nate. 1524 Northeast 96th Street, Suite D. The barn filled with cards. Thanks for being here. I thought we would take this episode in light of the 1st of January, otherwise known as the end of the fiscal year, to talk about what our year has been like. So I've only been here for about half the year. So I don't even know what you did before I got here, but it was
rough.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, kind of a big deal.
Yeah, sure.
No, but I was doing lots of different things. Some people that watch this were following before I came to work here, and some, probably most, weren't. Because most of our viewers now are fans of the shop, people that come in and customers and stuff like that. So I thought we would.
At least the ones we hear from, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. The loud ones.
Yeah.
But I thought, hey, Connor, what's happening, man? I thought we'd take this episode and just talk about what our year's been like, because I think it's different, and I think, well, it's very spread out, but it's also, a lot has changed this year, and it's different than what you would hear on other channels, or like, this is a experience of a wholesale retail shop and two guys who have kind of the same mentality when it comes to doing this as a business. And it's probably unique to sports card YouTube. Let's put it that way.
Sports card YouTube for sure. Not flashy, not, it's like the grinder involved or whatever. Yeah. So,
yeah.
I don't remember exactly. I don't remember much about early last year, except for the fact that we had COVID in December, so we were closed for Christmas, basically.
Yeah.
Like, we reopened the day after Christmas, I believe. Maybe 2 days. I don't remember what day it was on. Anyways, we were only open for a week, and then New Year's hit. And January 1st is kind of becoming a tradition here, because we're open, a lot of other places aren't. And there's we did a soft opening 2 years ago, and then COVID kind of hit before we could open. And then last year we had pizza and all that stuff. And I mean, everybody, like, their day off, they want to come here sometimes, because I got 2, 3, 4 hours instead of 15 minutes or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of people that just come and dig. I mean, it's just, we just hang out and watch bowl games and, have fun. So
it's kind of become a clubhouse.
Yeah, kind of. And for days like that, it is for sure.
Yeah.
So I remember that. And then I don't remember much in January except for the Chiefs run. I mean, those games were kind of a blur, because it's like you were just waiting until the next week for the next game, So, and then the Super Bowl hit and everything was so high. It was like the top of the line. Like, Jordan rookies were selling for almost $1 million, and it was crazy. So we were selling stuff. I remember we were selling stuff for, like, I was buying stuff for more than I thought, like double what I thought it was worth, but it was selling for double that.
Yeah.
So it was a really weird time, and I got over my head in some stuff, and learned lessons myself in that period, because everything was just so high. Like, should have just stepped back and just wait for it to come down instead of trying to play that game.
Yeah.
Because if you play that game, you're going to fail eventually. I mean, everybody's going to be holding something they shouldn't be holding. You
can't win.
No.
It was weird for me, because I started buying, like, the 90s basketball rookies in November of last year. And I mean, they were basically where they are now.
Mm-hmm.
And Allen Iverson PSA 10 was like, I mean, it's down farther than that now, but it was like, $200-$300, something like that. And so when all that stuff took off, I thought I had already had a bunch of stuff set back.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, finally, like an Allen Iverson in last year's mindset, like in last year's market, I thought $1,000 for an Allen Iverson PSA 10, like that's in line.
But
Like,
you feel validation because you're like, all right, everybody thinks this is as cool as I think it is. You know? Like you finally get your answers.
Yeah. And then 2 weeks later it was gone.
Yeah. It was like
went from 300 to 1,000 and back to 300 in a month.
Yeah. I think there's gonna be like a movie about that later, like some pump and dump or some.
There's
like
gotta
somebody
be more
that had to be influenced by somebody or something. Like
a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was coordinated. I don't know that if it's coordinated, that's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it was just so weird. Like people, guys have been talking about Kobe Bryant rookies being in $10 or less for, and then a PSA 10's like 10 grand. It's like that card is not hard to find. I mean, a PSA 10's not easy, but it's not hard.
I saw somewhere the other day. Oh, it was one of the shows we were watching. Said that the PSA 9 Kobe's are like, there's like 13,000 now or something like that.
Yeah, because nobody graded it.
Yeah.
And now everybody graded it. So like every Kobe is graded, you know, or everyone that is in the hands of somebody that cares about it.
Yeah.
So that was like February, March, even a little bit of, February for sure, March, a little bit of April even.
Yeah.
So it's just like you don't even realize it's happening until it's like, wait, what am I doing? Like I just looked this up 2 weeks ago. Why is it doubled in a week or 2 weeks, And then people bring it in and it's like, I'm not paying 70% of that comp when the comp was 50% 2 weeks ago. Like, it's not going to go up again that much, you know? So I stepped back a little bit. I did buy those Herbert rookies. That was probably the worst purchase of my entire career.
Yeah.
It's definitely the one I've lost the most money on. I mean, I haven't cashed out yet, but I've never lost that much money on a deal ever. And then, so I think that was in March. I'm pretty sure I'd have to check to make sure. But, that was and then April and May comes along and baseball season starts and we got through some of the stuff back here and we put it all out and it got purchased by like 3 people,
Really?
Yeah. Opening day baseball season, I had 2 showcases full of nothing but like Bowman Chrome, Bowman rookies of everybody. I had like 25 Mookie Betts and 25 Jacob deGroms and all stuff from like 2010 to now. There was probably 10 Robert Chromes and all those guys that were hot, Luis Roberts and Gavin Lux and Bo Bichette and opening day baseball season, I put that stuff out. And we had a bunch of people come in and they were kind of looking at it here and there, and then one guy comes in and wipes it out.
Just took everything.
I put a picture on the internet and one of my friends, he took the picture and he circled everything, and it was about 45 guys. He's like, I'll take every one that you got of this stuff.
Wow.
And then another guy came in and spent a couple $1,000, and it was like the bulk of it was gone within 3 guys.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. So that's a good spring. That's a good opening day.
One way to
good week, off. Opening week.
Yeah. Baseball season.
Yeah, right. So
I think last year, beginning of the year, all I was doing was making videos and building a YouTube channel up. And I was working nights for a while there. And when baseball season came on, like in January, like Soto's and Acuna rookies and like Otani nothing had happened with him yet, but like all of that stuff, Tatis rookies,
so stupid.
It went crazy.
It was stupid high.
It went crazy.
I think that was around the time I got those Soto PSA cards back, and that they'd been there a year or at least 10 months. 16 for 16 in PSA 10s, and they're at $300 a piece, and I'm trying to figure out why I'm not. I'm making myself not sell them at $300 a piece. Like that's how crazy it was.
Yeah,
like you didn't want to. You wanted to sell everything you had and hold everything you had at the exact same time.
Yeah,
because if you just held it, it was higher in a week.
Well, that's why, like, now, like, I feel like, and we've talked about, I think we agree on this, like, this is a better market for us because you don't have to think about that. It's like,
Yeah.
if it's flat or if it's going down or if it's going up a little bit, like, I'm getting rid of everything
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to buy it back cheaper, and get rid of that stuff
Mhm.
too. I'm going to buy at prices that I can move stuff at and just keep moving it.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to second guess it.
A flat market's better for us because we're not speculators.
Right.
Like I can buy at 70% of comps and know that comp's going to be that comp for at least long enough for me to get rid of it.
Yeah.
If I buy at 70% of comps and all of a sudden it tanks and now I'm in at 150% of comps,
Mhm.
that's not the way that's not the way I've ever done anything. So, I buy it and sell it for more. And you can't do that when it's going like this because you may hit it down and you need to sell or want to sell and get out. And so it's much better for us with the flat.
Yeah.
Well, there's no variation in the extreme part of the comps, and that's not the way it was February, March, April.
It was extreme, and it was like it was all over the place all the time. Like I can take basketball taking a run.
Mhm.
I'm gonna make money on the stuff I had before it started going up, and and it's gonna even out. I'm gonna be able to buy stuff at prices, and when it comes down,
Mhm.
it's gonna even out.
Mhm.
But when it goes up in 1 week, when something doubles in a week or 2 weeks, you can't plan for that. You
No.
can't even that out really.
No.
Like by the time you get into it, you're already behind,
Right.
So I mean, it was transformational for me because like I did my last like picks video was right around the beginning of baseball season. It might have been in May, but that was a time when I stopped doing those, and I decided to stop doing those because the market, I could tell we'd kind of like the bubble burst, or like that trying to predict stuff that was going to go up in a market that wasn't guaranteed to go up anymore was going to be irresponsible. And that's when I changed to like just looking to build my eBay and just go through dollar boxes and stuff like that, which I had always done. But I mean, that's how I ended up here pretty much. Well, I ended up here because I wanted to offload a bunch of junk, and I was the only guy I could find that would take it.
Do it, right?
Yeah. But I stayed because I wanted to go through all the dollar and quarter boxes and stuff. So yeah.
And that was about when you came up, right? Like July, June, July.
I can look on the videos
Yeah.
and tell you, but it was in like I think the end of June, and then I started probably the middle of July.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So yeah. So between, I mean, it's been crazy here because like I literally opened the store to sell a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
I mean, not crap. I sell a bunch of inventory over there in the quarter section.
It's not good marketing.
That's the truth. That's our marketing is the truth.
We got crap. Come look at our crap.
Yeah. I mean, we took like the craziness of February, March, April, and there was definitely gains involved there. So I mean, I took those gains and like tried to build on that, and we got more inventory, we got bigger, and then somehow like it just exploded is the right term, but it wasn't an explosion. It was more like a daily gradual incline to where in April or in January or February, I'm like just trying to figure out what I'm going to put out, how to replace all this stuff, to June, July, working with you to get the stuff out fast enough. The stuff that we're buying is not coming back out fast enough.
Yeah.
To now even looking for more people because it comes in so much faster than we can even mess with it and get it out because it's so time consuming to process it.
And it's got to get sold to be able to keep buying. Like, we're able to keep up with it, but just barely.
Yeah.
And it's like, there comes a point when, like, and this isn't this. I know this isn't what you want to do, and it's not what I want to do either. But there comes a point where you can't keep buying stuff if stuff's just backing up.
Mhm.
If it's just piling up, I mean, you know, friggin', some of these rookies that are $2 or $3 now are going to be a quarter, not very
Yeah.
long. Not long from now, and
Yeah.
like that's
It definitely, yeah, it's definitely not part of the, like, but it's a um piece of the market that is changing as we, because it didn't used to be that way. Everybody was keeping their stuff because all it did was went up,
yeah,
and now for 6 months it hasn't. So now everybody's like, okay, well, this isn't going to be what I thought it was. Here, somebody else deal with it. I
yeah,
mean, I bought 4 deals today for that reason.
yeah,
They just don't want to do it anymore.
yeah.
So
And people are coming in and, what can you give me? And they're not leaving with it.
no,
I
no.
mean, you buy so much for reasons because you give fair prices to people, but they're not leaving with it.
No,
They know, they're done.
yeah. I mean, when it gets on that cart, it's
Hmm.
like, you know, it's not. It's definitely, yeah, it's not going away.
I mean, the bulk stuff that people bring in, nobody else will take that stuff.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they won't even. You can't even give it to them.
Right.
Like they don't want it.
Yeah.
They're not taking it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And that's a shame, because
Maybe it should be a nonprofit that way. We'll just take donations.
Yeah. I mean, I've said it before, and I don't think it's like you got to have a dump fee.
There was a deal like that today. It had about one box that was okay, and then the rest of it was like 88 tops.
I'll take it for $1 per 1,000.
Yeah,
It's 100
per million maybe.
100 you have to pay me $100 for every 100,000 cards that you dump off here.
$7 a pound or $7 a ton. That's what the dump fee is.
Yeah. It add up quick, but it has been better. You're really good about being flexible and keeping your mind open to how to move stuff. I mean, you've done this long enough. You've made enough deals that a lot of stuff makes sense to you that doesn't necessarily make sense to me. And even if you haven't done it before, like like all those football rookies we sold off and stuff. I mean, you've probably done something similar before,
Mhm.
but that was it. Didn't you didn't? I mean, we didn't know at the time. It ended up being an easy, really good way to get rid of that stuff, and thank God we did.
Because we got just as much.
We did that twice,
Right.
and
And we've got just as much.
yeah,
I mean, it's my faith in it's my faith in the hobby.
yeah,
It's my faith in um I can buy this stuff and put work into it and repackage it so somebody else can use it quicker, and then they'll buy it from me.
hmm
The same thing. Um I bought a bunch of junk today, a cart full of it, but also there was 3 people that went out with a cart full of stuff today.
sure,
So, I mean, we process it better or differently than somebody else does. I mean, a dealer, I wholesaled 5,000 count boxes to a guy that just needed commons.
yeah,
We have that. Or we had an auction pickup that literally took almost 2 pallets full of stuff out, so we can get rid of it faster or hopefully more profitable or profitable than somebody that's just like, here's $100 worth of cards on Craigslist or Facebook, marketplace. And I think all of that, I think doing that over and over and over again, even when we didn't really want to sometimes,
yeah,
is building it up. So now we do it every day, even though we don't want to sometimes, like there's bulk that comes in every day. So I have no worries about buying it for 100 and flipping it for 120 because I know there's going to be more coming in later.
sure,
And that's a great mindset for me. It lets me make deals faster. It lets me, and all of that has happened in the last 6 months
yeah.
since the boom. I mean, since the boom burst, kind of.
And I think the bulk stuff, the more we're able to put out there, and now that so much is coming in, like there's better quality stuff that we don't have time to look through or don't have time
Mm-hmm.
to do something else with it. So it's like, here this is, there's a ton of good cards in here, spread them out, show them, and have at it.
Yeah.
We'll sell them at a bulk price because the time's not there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me with the amount of people that's coming in. I mean, we have our lulls where there'll be 30 minutes or something without somebody, but there's a lot of times if you just show up and bring in a collection, I mean, I may need to help 2 or 3 other people while I'm looking through your stuff, and I don't have the time to, if you haven't done any of the work before, like I looked at this one guy's collection yesterday, and literally the boxes were $88 donruss, 91 tops, 80. And I said, I can give you $40 for this stuff. And he pulled out this 2-row box, and it was filled with all penny sleeved rookies and graded two or three graded cards. And I'm like, well, I would have missed this. I'm not trying to rip you off, but you just show me this box and tell me this is bulk, and then we can, I'll make a deal with you. But a lot of times people come in, they don't even really know what they have. And that's kind of, that wasn't an issue like 2 years ago. That's a 2021 issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what happened this year. It's like people bought a bunch of stuff. They went to Walmart because everybody else was, and now they have these boxes of commons mixed in with their old stuff from the 80s.
Yeah.
And then they bring in this stuff, and you have to go through, separate the junk from the new junk.
Yeah.
The new base cards that we can use and process. And it's like, here's everything. And it's like, it's going to cost me more in labor than I can pay you for this stuff, know? So that's a new phenomenon to me, at least, even though we've been here 14 months or whatever it is.
Sure.
So, but I don't think it's anywhere close. I think we're just on the cusp of that.
Yeah.
I mean, they printed so much stuff.
People are going to be dumping this stuff off for 20 years.
I mean, they're still printing. They restocked 2020 Donruss football today.
Yeah.
Because they don't have anything else to put out.
It's been out for 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, however long it's been out.
The holiday edition.
Months, but 3 months or whatever.
So they keep printing it. We're not going to run out of that stuff. And that's a 2021 phenomenon for sure. Because there would be sometimes people would call me for commons or bulk stuff, and I'd say I don't have any.
Yeah.
Even a year ago at this time. I mean, the newer stuff, and now it's just like, now it's how many boxes it's here, so there'll be more tomorrow.
Have at it. And so people can use that stuff. It's not that they can't use it, but like maybe we need to do a better job of connecting with those people or something. Because it's if it's going to be like that, like consistently, then, and it is, then I guess it's important to look ahead and try to find outlets for it. I mean, we have outlets for it, but it's
just my faith in not only the hobby, but the people in the hobby that are going to find an innovative way to make these cards usable or valuable.
Sure.
And it's mostly, at this point, it's repack stuff, He's the third guy that I've sold stuff that are repacking cards.
Yeah.
And that's a combination of the new stuff being too high, which is a 2021 thing, the retail being too high, blasters being $30 and $35 off the shelf, and you get 20 cards.
Yep.
So if you put, a game used jersey, a hit, a relic, something with 50 new cards, I mean, a mom or dad's going to give you $5 for that all day long instead of spending 35 or $10 or whatever the number is.
Yeah.
$30 even if you.
Yeah, sell them online for $20.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, here's 2019 Mosaic, but it's all stars and rookies, and there's 5 parallels and
there's
whatever.
No doubt in my mind if we could take Prism, Mosaic, Optic from the last 3 years and do 15 rookies, 5 color cards, 1 numbered card, and a star rookie card of this list of 50 rookies, and put those out for $20 a pack, we'd sell every one we made.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, because $20 doesn't get you anything but a pack now.
It doesn't get you the lowest grade blaster that you can get
Yeah.
at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
It's not you can't
Yeah,
get for
it's
$20.
a Tops product. Yeah, base Tops product or
Yeah.
something like that. Hey, $20 won't even get you a blaster anymore. They're 22 to 25.
Exactly.
So
there's not a single blaster out there you can get
right.
for less than $20.
So that's my faith in the system, the people in the hobby that are going to find a way to use these cards, even though there's a ton of them out there. So we'll just have them ready, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's I mean, we have the storage; they don't need anything, and that's kind of why it's the warehouse.
Do we have the storage though?
Sure. We're not optimized. We may need to shut down for a week to get optimized, but
it's definitely here, but you're right.
Yeah.
It's just not like, you know, it's just what happens.
Yeah.
You know, there's only so many hours in a day.
Yeah.
I'm getting busier with my stuff outside of here, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
And in a big part thanks to you. You know, we talked about this the other day, but it's like I'm in a unique position where I couldn't work here if I had to be out looking for cards. And I couldn't, like, if I didn't work here, I would have to be out, you know, 20, 30, 40 hours a week trying to find deals to do this for a living, you know? And so it's a great position to be in. But you know, if you want to put the time in, that's the whole thing. Like for me, it's a great position to be in.
Right.
But this is all I do.
Yeah, I mean a full-time job, and a lot of people love any part of this industry. So like to call it a full-time job is like there's people that work a full-time job and work 40 hours a week, and as soon as they get home, all they can think about is, man, can I stop at 2 Walmarts on the way home and see if I can't hit something, you know?
Yeah.
And then they'll go home and, you know, get on eBay and then put the kids to bed and do some listings on it. Like they don't count as a job because it's their hobby, but they do it from as soon as their mind turns on, as soon as they leave work until they go to bed, you know?
Sure.
So we just happen to have our full-time job part of it is the listing and the shipping and the, you know, all that stuff that you don't really want to do, but you do it 20 hours, 30, 40 hours a week to make it a job.
Yeah.
And then the fun stuff's out there buying stuff or, you know, and that used to be the way I did it. It was like I would work 40 hours a week doing my job of the listing and the sorting but I'd also work 40 hours a week on my hobby, which was out buying this stuff. Yeah. The problem is they only worked if I did them both, you know, like my job went away if I didn't do my hobby. Yeah. So, but that was, you know, and then do shows and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know, people that can make this a job or make this balanced. I don't know I would not know how to do that. Balance this hobby and job, and like I couldn't do it that way. I mean, I could not teach you how to keep a balanced life and do this job.
Yeah, the key is make more money.
Yeah, I guess.
That's
but
part of it.
Still, like we've had, I mean, by far our best year ever, and I'm working harder now than when I wasn't making any money. Yeah. So, I mean, part of that's just because I in my mind, it's not going to be like this forever. Yeah. So I'm taking advantage of it while it's happening. I mean, hopefully, even if it slows down to somewhat of a more crawl compared to what we are now, the shop can still be open and, you know, that type of stuff. I can keep the shop open. I can keep my wife, you know, working here if she wants to, type deal. But I mean, a year ago, I never would have thought, a year and a half ago for sure, I never would have thought this. So, I mean, that 2021 changed everything in that fact.
You've created a foundation that if you wanted to do this for the next 20 years, you can, and you'll make plenty of living outside of, you know, pending market collapse or something like that. Like you'll be fine. You've created that foundation of a community, a destination for dumping stuff off. Yeah. But you know, like you have done that, and it doesn't have to be the friggin' fishbowl at Burbank or the, you know, Card Collector 2. Like a destination is what you enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people that this is a destination for them because because we share the same ideals when it comes to cards.
I hope that's right.
It might not be the same as other places, but it's what you want, and the people that are loyal to here, this is what they want. That's why they're loyal to here.
Yeah.
That's why they come in. This is what they want.
Yeah. They want to dig for 6 hours, and
they want to dig and talk about 88 Donruss. And
there was 2 guys that came in today. I know they've been in before, but I don't know their names because they literally spend 2 hours over in the quarter section, and I think one of them bought $2 worth of cards and a box, and the other guy bought 2 blasters. But they were over there for 2 hours talking to each other, hanging out, having fun. Like, that's just as cool to me as somebody that comes in and buys a hobby box for $500 and leaves again.
Definitely.
I mean that's part of why we're here. That's part of why there's 4 empty tables over there, so people can do that.
Sure.
Know? So,
and that's part of why I'm glad that the boom is kind of over. That we peaked and we started coming back down because a lot of that was lost. When everything's going up and everything's just about prospecting, making money, and all that stuff. I mean, I'm all about making money, but
the people that are here are the people they're still here because we're here. The same reasons we're here.
92 Stadium Club, right? Yeah, y'all gotta hear this. This is awesome. 1992 Stadium Club. There's a little excerpt in this old Price Guide magazine. Oh, it's 91. You're right. 1991 Stadium. Oh yeah, Stadium Club. Top Stadium Club. Investment potential. 4 stars. Topps Stadium Club is the nicest set ever produced by Topps. Excellent photography and interesting stats. First ever limited edition high quality set from Topps. Limited edition.
Compared to base Topps?
I mean, everything's limited to something.
Yeah.
Like limited to printing capacity.
Yeah.
But that just shows like 1991 is the 2021 of the junk wax era.
Mm-hmm.
Upper Deck investment potential 3 stars. 1991 Upper Deck. Upper Deck continues with high quality cards. Great photos and good rookie selection make this set another winner. Gosh, I mean, I don't think anything's. 91 Scores got 3 stars investment potential.
What is 86, 87 Fleer?
Oh gosh,
basketball. Yeah. There's some basketball.
5-star investment potential.
Is it?
They called it
that one right.
They called it due to lack of production of mainstream set. This set contains 4 years worth of rookies in one set. A premier edition, a limited print run. This one is a gem.
Nailed it.
And the Jordan, let's see, $340. 1991, the Jordan rookie was $340 in this
Such
price
a weird
guide.
Number.
340.
Yeah, why not just make it 350?
I don't know. That is a weird number.
Yeah, maybe it sounds more accurate. I don't know.
It is a weird number. I'm trying to find some that $340 now. That card in a 10. I mean, that's a near mint 7. $340, which is
the new book's got to have it at $5,000 or something, right?
5 or well, actually,
funny that you ask.
I've got
some
one
people
right here.
Some people come in. We have to explain what that is because they haven't seen the bucket.
There's 16 people here watching me be an idiot right now. I love it. 1986 Fleer. It's so weird how like the first 10 years of these modern price guides are in the first 2 or 3 pages, and then the last year takes 10 pages.
Yeah, at least
19. Okay, 80 to 92 is in these 2 pages of basketball. So 86 Fleer Jordan, $6,000 near mint.
$6,000.
Yeah.
So 17X or so.
Yeah. Almost 20. Yeah. That's how much. But they did call it on the.
They did call it
5-star
5-star investment.
potential.
Whoever wrote that doesn't have to turn in their card.
I mean, it was
card.
like Michael Jordan was scoring leader, defensive player of the year, and MVP. Yeah. So
beating Karl Malone and Charles Barkley in the finals.
Yeah.
And Elijah won at 2 championships.
Yeah.
So good call.
Yeah.
Easy call.
Yeah. But it was good. It was good. Not an idiot, just a xenial. What's a xenial, Garrett Davis? Is that like a new kid?
Yeah, don't make us Google anything.
Yeah, not an idiot. Who's an idiot?
He said there's 16 people watching me be an idiot.
Oh, a xenial.
Yeah. Take it as a compliment. We won't look it up.
I'm the elder of the millennials.
Yes.
The elder. Back in my day, I remember when computers were just for playing Oregon Trail. But I mean,
so then we got up to where you came here.
Yeah.
So everything now is like coming from one set of eyes, basically.
Yeah. Basically. We're up to that point.
Yeah.
To like when I came to work here, and I was so nervous that I would not want to sort after sorted. Like if I sat down and sorted cards for like 10 hours, that I would get burnt out and I wouldn't know what to do. Like can't like I would like regret it and be like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. Like, what was I thinking? But luckily that was not the case.
Now I can't get you to leave.
I know, right? I live here. I know. I just say this is what I want to do. We talked last night about. I mean, I love the cards, and you know it's a balance. But what allows me to do this, you know, with 90% of the time I have available, is because I love the card and I love the business aspect of card dealing. So what we do here and everything involved in it, I don't have to think about it. It's what I enjoy doing, you know? So, yeah, it's really worked out really well.
Yeah. I mean, it's different because, I mean, it's the same thing we talked about, like, we got lucky enough because we both like watching sports.
Yeah.
And we would do that anyways.
Right.
And somehow we've turned that, and a lot of people have, you know, turned that into something where not only can you make money at it, now we can make a living at it.
Yeah.
And so watching the sports almost qualifies as part of your job.
Yeah.
Like if I came in and tried to do my job without watching the Chiefs game, people would look at me like I was, you know, crazy.
Tomorrow's going to be so much fun.
It is.
It's got the national championship qualifiers.
Yeah.
Like
starting in the afternoon when we're open.
Yeah. You know. I haven't watched much college football this year, but I'm really looking forward. There's going to be some, like, those are some good matchups. I'm really looking forward to see what happens.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how much Cincinnati holds up. Whatever.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Whatever the spread is, like, I'm betting on Alabama personally.
I mean, if they get blown out, it's fun. If they make it a game, it's fun. Like, it's a win-win. Yeah. In my opinion.
Either way, at least we'll learn.
Yeah.
Like, Cincinnati's got a bunch. I mean, we usually don't talk about stuff like this, but Cincinnati has to have a lot of pressure if they think about it. If they get blown out by Alabama after not losing to anybody else, a non-Power 5 team will never make it back in until they expand.
No.
Ever.
No. And they
may expand in 2 years.
I mean, that's almost where, like, if it's that bad, I mean, it's almost like, why are they in the same, you know, why is it all that all considered D1-1?
Yeah.
You know, D1A or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of people are thinking. So,
yeah.
I mean, tomorrow's a big game. It'll be fun either way. I mean, it'll be informative either way.
It will. I'm interested to see. I mean, your big schools like Alabama and stuff, they're always going to get good recruits. But you've got guys going to HBCU schools now, which I think is great. I grew up just down the road from an HBCU school. It was a great school. And just had a ton of tradition. It was really interesting. But with this new name, image, likeness stuff, like, there's going to be people going to schools you've never heard of because, you know, I don't know how all that works, but for instance, I was talking to my mom and I was like, out where my cousin lives is where out in North Carolina where Rick Hendrick, the race car owner, he started with car dealerships. So he's got like every car dealership in North Carolina. And if he wanted to, like, if they wanted to recruit somebody, like he could just put them in an ad that goes all over the state of North Carolina and pay them $500,000.
Yeah.
And there's people all over the place that are alumnus of all kinds of different schools that would have the ability to do that. Now, I don't know how all of those things work, but I'm assuming with name, image, and likeness, if they're using their likeness in an advertisement or something, they can do that.
They can pay them.
Yeah.
It's it's a new world because people know about people their age, and they're like even when I was in high school, I didn't know who the next high school player was that was great. But now between Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff, like those guys are highlights before, like people, like I know who Mikey Williams is. I shouldn't know who that is.
Right.
And it's because of stuff like that. And so that kid doesn't have to go to Duke.
Yep.
He doesn't have to go to North Carolina. He can go to, Southern Illinois and get $500,000 from Nike and be a huge fish in the same pond as everybody else. And then not only that, they can make cards. They can they're making cards. Now Mikey Williams has basketball cards already.
I guarantee you social media director will be a job at colleges from now on with name, image, and likeness. They're going to have
to
professional social media teams for their players.
Yeah, they're going to have to. It's from the very small numbers that I heard is all of that stuff still has to be compliance. All that stuff still has to go through the school. Like you can't just write a check to the player type thing. But they're doing autograph signings. There's going to be the guys that are playing on the KU team right now, probably at the Harris show.
Really?
6 weeks from now, yeah.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
So a lot of those guys won't have a future. In basketball.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to want their signature ever again. And, unless they won a championship or something.
Yeah. A lot
but
of them
now if they're
drafted
on the team, one or two.
Yeah.
One or two every year goes on to play professionally. And one of those in the NBA, so, like a team signed basketball from the 21-22 KU Jayhawks, this might be the only time, and those guys can make some money, and, it's not money coming out of anybody's pocket. Ticket prices aren't going up. It's only the people that want it are buying it.
Yeah.
So all of that can happen, and I think it's cool that they can put cards in the bookstores, and, there's going to be some cool cards, and 10 years from now, it's like, oh yeah, that guy was a freshman, at Timbuktu College.
Yeah.
And he's got the super, it's going to be like that Dwayne Rock Johnson rookie card where there's like 4 of them.
Yeah. The Bumblebee.
Yeah, the Bumblebee.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that, but it's going to be like LeBron James the third's card or whatever. Yeah. Or, 10 years from now, some guy. So that's it. All that's changed this year too. And I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think so.
It'll be fun.
The athletes put out a lot of time and energy into in the past. It's been that the athletes sacrifice a lot to perform for their school and get an education so that the school can make a whole lot of money. A whole lot of money. Try to get season tickets to KU basketball. Yeah. See what they charge you. Yeah. It's $5,000 donation just to get on the list. Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
At MU it was something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not a perfect system. In a way, I kind of wish that wasn't how it is, but it is. It's it is the way it is.
I'm a pure capitalist libertarian in that fact. Like, if you can go get your money, I don't want the government saying I can't get my money. If it's and that's kind of what the NCAA was. Is like, it's going to be kind of weird. It kind of evens the playing field if you think about it, because like UMKC is in the same tournament every year that Duke, North Carolina, Indiana, all this blue chips are. Like that's not fair anyways.
Yeah.
So now if a kid grows up at, North Kansas City High School and he's the best player in the country and he wants to go to UMKC and stay at home with his family, now he can make it work.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't have to go underground and get, $100,000 from some booster, and his dad gets a job somewhere, like all of that is out of the shadows. Now you just pay the kid to be in a commercial.
Yeah.
Or do a signing with him and have JSA there,
Yeah.
Like it's so much better to do. Now people that can do the right thing or wanted to do the right thing for themselves and it was against the rules, now it's not against the rules.
Yeah.
And it was the right thing to do anyways.
Sure.
So hopefully it pumps more money into the kids' pockets, the parents' pockets, all that stuff, instead of like, and I think it's going to work out for more people are going to watch the games, if they already know who the players are. Like I don't watch college basketball because the good players are there a year and they go to the NBA. Like there's no reason. I don't have a college. I don't have a team,
The average team age is like 19.
Yeah, like by the time I see those Kentucky players that were I watched like 10 minutes of the Missouri game. By the time I get to know those guys, it's March and they're in the tournament and I've watched like 3 games and they're gone.
And most of the games aren't very good.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody sticking around that's
Nobody's
any good.
Played together.
Yeah.
So if those guys are making, they had some people skip college to go to the G League for $150,000 a year.
Yeah.
If some of those bigger names can make $500,000 in college, maybe they want to stick around a little bit for the college experience. Some of them.
Exactly.
Obviously, the top guys are going to go, but
yeah,
KU might be able to hold on to a guy for 3 years instead of 1 year.
Well, those guys that are going in the second and the third round, like it doesn't make any sense for them to go pro if they can make, $500,000 or whatever. Maybe they're not making $500,000. Maybe they are.
Yeah.
Maybe that's ends up being like everybody on the team makes $200,000 a year or something like that. When you figure it all out, all the promotions and stuff like that. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense to go in the second or third round and go to the G League and not develop, not have a chance to develop when you could stay till you're a junior or senior and maybe get drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
And make more money while you're doing it.
But it's not taking like the college doesn't have to pay the players.
Right.
So you're not taking, and it's all that stuff about, the college campuses now. If you paid Zion Williamson $100,000, you'd have to pay the 4-string setter on the women's volleyball team $100,000.
Sure.
So that doesn't happen now. It's almost genius in the way that they fixed it, because like the guy that I remember is Johnny Manziel. So Johnny Manziel went and signed a bunch of signatures when he was in college, and they have this JSA database where there's 1,000 straight things that are his signature, and they dated him when he was in college. And so like Johnny Manziel should probably, like my idea was, if it's a guy like Johnny Manziel that can do the name, image, likeness and probably make, like, say, okay, this guy is on our team, but he's a non-scholarship athlete.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to go out and sign signatures for your team, then you just lose your scholarship. You still be on the team, but you just use your scholarship, and that's given to somebody else that can't afford it, can't do that. But you have to pay for your schooling to be there, and whatever that was,
Yeah.
But they've kind of done it where everybody's in the same pool now. Like I know there's I think the first person to ever get signed was who was she? It was some women's college athlete.
Oh,
got signed to Barstool.
The gal at UConn?
No, maybe it was. I don't know. I thought she was like a rower or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Like as soon as it happened, she tweeted Barstool and said, I want to be a Barstool athlete. And they like created this whole thing. And she was the first one to get name, image, likeness. So, I mean,
that was smart on her part.
Innovation is rewarded. Like it's the same. It's what we talked about earlier. So
yeah,
I don't know. I like it. And all that this could change. Like tomorrow's first game.
Yeah.
Could kind of change that maybe. Like this is the last time I think we're going to see a huge giant against a huge underdog.
Yeah.
And we don't in the future.
Wait. We're not a huge giant. It's a huge underdog.
It's Cincinnati.
You mean Cincinnati's the giant because they're undefeated?
Travis Kelce's not even Cincinnati can beat Alabama. If Travis Kelce was on the Bearcats tomorrow, I don't know that they can beat Alabama.
We'll see.
They
got a lot of heart.
Kelby, put 200 on Alabama for me. I've never been on a game, so allegedly.
But yeah, I mean,
it'll be fun.
It's gonna be fun, and it's been fun. Like ever since I started here, like it's a fun place to be.
Yeah,
it's a fun place to be. We do a lot. Like we work. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But I mean, you don't hold me to anything really. I kind of get to come in whenever, if I sleep in, I don't have to open the shop. I don't go outside the curtain. So I just kind of show up and work till I'm ready to
come in at the crack of 2 p.m.
That's right. Leave at 4 a.m.
Yeah, right.
Well, not anymore. We don't stay that late anymore very often, but
yeah. Well, we had projects going on. That's kind of the thing is like it started I started taking on more stuff because I knew there was two of us going at it too instead of like I mean freaking DGA has been bugging me for years.
Have they really?
I mean, yeah, but I mean he's the one that bought most of that Bowen stuff.
Yeah. He's the one that just
circled and said I'm buying it all.
Stuff,
yeah. So I mean, it's probably in DGA holders now, like, but I mean, that stuff, I mean, he's bugging me now for, all kinds of baseball stuff. And, I couldn't do what I'm doing now up front and then come back and like before what happened is I would be up front until 7:00. I would have dinner, 8:00, the case would go home. And then I would do pictures for 3, 4, 5 hours or whatever I bought that week, and then try to go home and do listings from home on a thumb drive because I had the pictures at home, and now it's like, now I sometimes several days a week I'll take a couple hours off instead of just 1 or 2, and then so that's changed in this, that changed in like probably July, August, or maybe even September when we started getting some type of rhythm of what we were going to do,
Yeah, it took me about a month to get kind of settled in. And kind of, I told you in the beginning, it's like, I'm going to be really slow for a while. And then like all of a sudden, I'll just like be way better at whatever I'm doing and stuff. And
it's worked out that way.
Yeah. It's just how things work for me is like, I have to like make sure I'm doing everything right at first. And then after doing it enough, like then like I'm able to just jump a gear and kind of go. And but yeah, ever since then.
Remember that first deal you worked on?
Which one? Oh yeah, the one you came and gave me, and you're like, "Hey, go through this."
There's two 5,000 count boxes.
Going through like stuff. Every box. Oh wait, vintage stuff?
Yeah. Remember Deaver's deal?
Oh yeah.
That was the first one you ever worked on, I think. Doing that.
Oh, just sorting it by year and everything like that.
Took it like 4 days just to sort it by year. Remember that?
I don't know if it took me 4 days. 2 days. Like 2 days. It was like 15,000 cards.
Yeah. You'd be through that in 45 minutes now.
Probably. It was different then.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Look how much you've learned by being here.
Yes. Mike was regretting his decision. And I already sold my house and was living in a motel. That way he couldn't back out.
Yeah, right.
Without feeling guilty.
Guilting me into keeping you here.
Yeah, exactly.
I can go as slow as I need to.
Yeah. What's he gonna do?
What's he
Kick
gonna
me out
do?
on the street?
He's too nice a guy.
Yeah. But yeah, it worked out.
It's been kind of weird too because July came and August, and we went to the National, and then it was like almost instantly get ready for football season, and then now it's like football season is a little choppier. Like it's week to week to week to week. Like you're just trying to make it to the next, like make sure nobody, blows up. Like Joe Burrow's cards went up 50% last week or whatever. Some of the cheaper ones for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like choppy. In baseball, it's every day.
Yeah.
Like you walk in here from April 1st to October 31st, and there's a game on that TV.
Baseball's so different.
It's so much fun.
Like somebody has a big game, and like their cards could, like if their cards are on eBay, they will sell.
Yeah. If
they're up, they'll sell.
Yep.
Or
somebody gets called up, everybody's watching.
It's really fun.
Everybody's watching that game. If it's Wander Franco, the Tampa Bay Rays finally get on TV or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
hopefully we see Bobby Witt Jr. this year, and I mean, technically, I guess this is going to be Wander Franco's rookie year, right?
Card wise,
yeah, card wise, and
it's gonna be a big year for baseball, man.
This whole 6 months as I work here, it's just been learning things that were definitely not obvious to me to begin with. For instance, like how much like cards go up in the postseason if somebody has a big game, like Dansby Swanson, or somebody that in the regular season their cards are not worth anything.
They shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be.
Yeah. Kiki Hernandez.
Yeah. Yeah. First Bowmans are like $10
for a day.
Yeah. But if you've got them on that day, that's what you'll get that for them, and that was
$100 that we found 10 of them, and they all sold within 2 days, and that was $100 we were gonna get that 2 days, and we were never gonna see again.
Yeah, or else you'll never
because you can buy them for 20 cents again now.
Yep.
So, that's it. It happens a little bit in basketball, but the problem is with basketball is the stars are already the stars.
Yeah.
Like, if Robert Ory, to bring a name back from 20 years ago, if that guy hits a shot, his cards are going to go up, but Olajuwon's still the stud. Drexler, their cards are already high anyways.
Yeah.
If Alex Caruso hits a game-winning shot, LeBron's cards are still what everybody cares about, even if Alex Caruso hit the shot because LeBron had 40.
Yeah.
So in baseball, Kiki Hernandez hits 8 home runs in 6 games. He's the one carrying the team.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different.
It is different. It
doesn't happen. It happens. I mean, when you get in the playoffs, usually, there's definitely, it's happened where it happens in football too, but like if the Bills are going to go deep in the playoffs, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are probably going to have big, games or whatever.
Yeah.
Their cards are already out there. They're already, like there could be a tight end or Knox or whatever could have a big game, and every once in a while, but it happens every night in baseball.
Yeah.
There's more games. There's more. It happens every single night in October where somebody that you don't expect to do something has done something to help the team and their cards go up at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Whether it's a starting pitcher or, sometimes in the right situation, a guy can get a sacrifice bunt and people want his cards because it was the right play, and that can happen every day.
It's something that's not obvious. And even when like you telling me that, like, I'm like, man, like this, I know you're right, but at the same time, it's like we're pulling hundreds of different guys that are on these playoff teams. And it's like, we're going to list 10 of these guys. And if we get them on there and if they sell, we got them on there and they sold.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was an eye-opening.
We took 2 days.
Yeah.
We took 2 days, went through all the baseball that we had back there, and we had the complete team runs for. I mean, we did that right after in October,
Mm-hmm.
like the end of September,
Mm-hmm.
right when we knew who was in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew some of these guys were going to be gone. I mean, 2 teams were going to be gone that night.
Yeah.
So they weren't even worth. I mean, I don't remember. The Cardinals, I think, was one of them.
Yeah. Cardinals.
But and the Rays maybe. But we sold a ton of. Sold a ton of Braves.
Yeah.
Austin Riley's are most of them are gone. You know, like I probably could have sold every Jorge Soler. You know.
Yeah.
That weekend. We just happened to be out of town that weekend of the World Series. But if you have that stuff ready and you have it handy, which is not where we want to be. I mean, that's where we want to be. It's not where we're at yet. But it's you can take advantage of having inventory that you don't have any money in.
Yeah.
And it's all free money at that point. Like I have Rafael Devers rookies back there that I've probably bought more than I have back there now. That I have more money in the ones I bought than the ones back there are free.
Yeah.
The ones on that pallet back there, those are free.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff I buy, it's cheap or whatever. But if you've got 100 of them that are free, you're gonna sell 20 of them for sure.
And the stuff that you're paying for is already sorted out. Like you're paying something for it because somebody's got it in a holder and you're going through it individually. So it's already accessible.
Mm-hmm.
If you're paying something for it, it can be listed and that money can be brought back in.
Yeah.
Or it can be easily separated to sell quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't have to do any work.
Yeah.
You don't have to do any work.
Yeah.
I gave a guy, it was a perfect example. A guy came in with a 2-row box. It was sorted by rookies, and then on the baseball side, there was stars. So all the Trouts, Tatises, Vlad Juniors, Sotos, Otanis were together, and they were just base cards.
Mm-hmm.
And on the left side, all the rookies in football and all the stars of Mahomes and I, if that box is just jumbled up in a mess, I could probably only pay like $50, but I gave him $100 because I don't have to do anything to that,
Yeah.
And as an example, the pallet that came in that was just stuff, like I gave $100 for that too because I don't know what's in there,
Yeah.
And it's literally probably 40 times more cards.
Yeah.
But this was, I mean, if it's brought in, and then there's a pile of cards out there that I bought at the end of the day today that I paid $40 for because I don't have, and there's got to be 40,000 cards there. I just don't know what's there.
Yeah.
Autographs, jerseys, rookies, but it's going to cost me twice that to get it, put together.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, right.
It's going to take 4 days for me to go through that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Just to get it in a box.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, there's a ton of stuff. And I knew coming into this, that was part of it. That's why I was coming to work here, was to learn all the stuff that's not obvious. I mean, it's practice too, but there's a lot of stuff that that's not obvious to probably a lot of dealers.
I don't know. I'm not very good at that. I mean, you say, I hear you say that, and it's probably the way you say it is probably true, but it seems obvious to me. You know what I mean? If you know it, then it's hard to know if somebody else knows it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, I say stuff that feels like I'm mansplaining to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't buy this for the top dollar because I have to pay somebody else to do like that. To me that feels like mansplaining to somebody, but to somebody that just brings in a box of stuff like that, maybe they don't know that.
Yeah.
Like they see the money. They pick a handful up and there's $8 worth of cards here, but how much work does it take to turn that $8 into to get it sorted correctly?
I think a lot of people think when they bring stuff in to sell, whether it's here, whether it's at a coin shop, or whether it's at a pawn shop or whatever, and maybe not a pawn shop, but like they bring it in here, they think you are buying it because you want it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's never true.
Yeah.
Like the only not never true. Like we want it.
99%.
The only reason I want it is if I can buy it at a price that I can make money on, because
Mhm.
this is a business. Unfortunately, that is the case.
Mm.
I want it. I think it's cool. I really like it, but like I've had 100 times more cards come through my hands because I'm selling everything that I buy
Yeah.
than I would if I was a collector or investor
Mhm.
and I'm holding things.
Yeah.
So people say different things, but that's always what I say is that, yeah, you can say that you're a collector. Or I've had people tell like you can't like constantly be flipping stuff and call yourself a collector or an investor or whatever. And that's what I tell them. It's like, well, you can think that, but I've owned and held thousands of more cards than you because I buy them to sell them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been able to experience those cards, and you haven't.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's different ways to do it, but yeah, I think a lot of people think they're doing you a favor because you're a collector, like you want this stuff because you like it.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, don't have a trust fund, and neither do
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you, and so it's like there's not a
It's two different mindsets.
yeah.
So it's like, um, there's people that come in and say, "Is there anything you're looking for?"
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no. I mean, I'll buy anything that I can make some money on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the mindset that I have.
Yeah.
I'll buy a Darko Milicic card if I can make some money on it. I mean, if you got a gold refractor that sells for $30, I'll give you 15.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for that card. Like you put a card in front of me and tell me the price, and I'll tell you if I can buy it or not.
Yeah.
Or if you want a price, it's gonna be, it's like, a lot of people will trade with me, and it's like, they want to pull out, the only card that they want out of all the stuff that I have, and then they want to dump the stuff that they don't want. It's like, here's 4 cards for one good one, and it's like, there's a Patrick Mahomes, jersey card numbered to 25, and here's my Grayson Allen rookies, or Michael Bridges, or whoever, like guys that have value, but they've gone up recently and they're probably going to go back down.
Yeah,
it's like those two are even monetarily wise right now.
Yeah,
but we know we're not going to do that, right? Like so. I mean, there's two different minds. Like, if you want to sell me those cards at half, I'll do that. But I can't sell you this Patrick Mahomes at half.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of trading. I mean, anybody under the age of 15 is an exception to that. Like,
yeah,
if they want to trade, let's do. Like, I did a trade today with a guy. I traded him a Kyler Murray booklet auto and a Justin Herbert select field level neon green, and I traded him for some okay stuff, like a Luka Doncic optic PSA 9, and there was a Nick Chubb rookie auto to 25, but there is no world that I'm involved in where that optic Luka and that Nick Chubb autograph gets you that Kyler Murray booklet auto, unless you're 14 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's even. I mean, he had to throw in a $20 Brett Favre insert thing that I wanted, but I'm not doing that because I think these are better than that.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I put that Kyler Murray on eBay, it was gone.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. His $200 was gone.
Yeah.
So we do that sometimes, but we deal with, and that's changed since like September, October, since you've been here, when I can get a stack. What do we do this week? Probably 150 graded cards that got put on eBay. 100 at least.
100, probably 100. Yeah, at least.
And that was just like last week's purchases.
Yeah.
And we got them together.
Yeah.
And that's changed. Like, I could trade one graded card that sells for $300 to $400. I'd have to wait for it to sell for $400, or I can comp that. Tell them comp that at $400, and then get 4 cards that are $100 each,
mm-hmm.
and then have you list those 4, and 3 of them are gone in 2 days.
Yeah.
We've sold 30 graded cards in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Of all that stuff that you listed. So it's like,
I hope so.
You'll know if my check bounces.
Yeah, I heard complaining from the shipping department.
Yeah, so she's not happy.
I think sales are up.
She is not happy. When she's not happy, we know we're doing our job right. She can't take a day off. We may have to hire. That'll be the next hire, is her having an assistant.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so good at getting you money for these cards.
The sad part is, before I go home tonight, there'll be another 50 cards listed that I haven't got done.
That's exciting.
So tomorrow's not going to be a cakewalk either.
That's going to be fun.
So yeah.
Yeah. But it's, it's been proven a lot to me, because, just the more you're exposed to, the more you do stuff, the more repetitions you put in, the more hours you put in, the more confidence you gain, and the more you just,
But when you have successes like that, it makes it so much easier to do it more.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's happened with us. It's definitely what's happened. I remember vividly before that Harris show, you and Case were like, why are we taking all this stuff? It's like, I had to come up with a saying, I was telling, shock and all, man, shock and all. So every time I asked something, you were like, oh, shock and all.
We took 2 truckloads.
2.5.
At least. Like, my car was full. She has an SUV. It was full. Your truck was full.
Yeah.
And in the cab and everything. For 3 tables at a show. 3 8-foot tables at a show. And a backup shelf like this.
2 of them.
2?
Mm-hmm.
2 of these shelves, like you see behind us. Like that. And both of those shelves were full of wax. Both of them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the 6-foot table.
And it was a very good show, from what I hear.
It was the best one we've ever done.
Yeah.
Shock and all. Shock and all. You can't just say it once.
It worked.
You just say it twice.
It worked. It's almost like you know what you're doing.
Almost. It's just frustrating when you it's there and you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we've gotten to a point that we can do it, it's so much fun when it comes together.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
For 15 years, I was like, gosh, I know how to do it. Like, I've done it. I've seen people do it for 5 years. All my friends that had, Scotty was doing it.
Yeah.
And, all the guys that I'd met up in Chicago, I was sitting there with renting half a table from somebody so I could sell my $1,000 worth of cards, so I could go home and pay my rent. And I'm watching this guy next to me, selling 20 grand to the show, and like getting up and leaving when he just did a $3,000 deal, and then he's going to have a $20 hamburger. And I'm eating Quick Trip hot dogs.
Yeah.
Like, I knew how to do it then.
Yeah.
Because I'd been around for 10 years.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the funds, and then this boom happens, and my quarter cards turn into $100 cards overnight. And then all of a sudden it's like this, within 18 months of this place happens.
Yeah.
It's like we're pretty darn lucky to be here right now. For sure. Yeah.
We're all pretty lucky. I consider myself.
Anybody that's been in cards and seen the uptake has been pretty darn lucky.
Yeah.
So
for sure. Yeah, we can't. You can't lose sight of that, because it's the hobby's always going to be here. Whatever happens with Fanatics happens. Whatever, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of guys our age and even younger that are going to replace the guys that are in their 70s and 80s now, and there's still going to be a hobby. Thousands, millions of people are on eBay every day looking at cards.
Yeah.
Millions.
Yep.
And so, I'm constantly learning new stuff. And I looked at this when I came here as like an apprenticeship, that it was about learning how to do this for a living. And, um, it was very early on. It was like that was the right idea to have. Like, that's what, that's what I'm doing. And now it's getting to the point where I can actually look at, like, realistically look at doing it for a living, actually making a living, doing it on my own. And it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It's
but that changed in, for almost everybody. I mean, 2020 was weird, but
yeah.
But there's a lot of people that took 2020 and turned that into a career in 2021 that had no idea it was coming.
Yeah.
You being one of them, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, even at the start of 2021, you were working more on YouTube than you were buying and selling cards, so.
I was still putting in, it was different because when I started doing the YouTube channel, I knew that I wanted to have a career in cards somehow, because I could put 60 hours into putting together a YouTube video and all the research and everything that goes into it, and be willing to turn around and do that again and again and again. And even when I had a job, it was like, I could put another 40 hours into it. I didn't know how it was going to work out, but I knew it was something that obviously, like, something I was geared towards, that I enjoyed enough. Like, that's how
Yeah.
Like, if you can do it and not hate it, if you can do it constantly and not hate it, I mean, that's
Every
when
day.
Yeah. It's like there's going to be days when you don't feel like sorting cards, but they're a lot fewer days than the days I don't feel like pumping gas.
Yeah.
Or flipping burgers or whatever.
Yeah, making batteries.
Yeah, doing taxes.
Yeah, right. But it was, I mean, that got us all the way through, what was it, October? I mean, after baseball, there's kind of a little bit of a lull, because you're used to doing something every single day and keeping track of something every single day. And now all of a sudden you're kind of waiting until Thursday to get your fix until Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes along. You're getting through Friday, Saturday until Sunday gets there. So
I think it was weird because we started taking, after baseball, that's when we really started taking on more project type stuff, putting stuff together for DGA and doing some more stuff like that, custom orders and stuff like that. And that's been a pretty big part of this fall.
We did have, like, August. I mean, we had some pretty big cards come through here in August, like my home stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I had four rookie auto patches in August come through that were $3,500 or more. And we traded and sold and all that stuff. So, I mean, August was a big deal. October rolled into a big deal. I mean, we did November. We got ready for like a Black Friday type thing. It was really successful and fun.
That was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Christmas season's just been crazy. So, I mean, it's been a weird year here. I mean, I don't know that we could expect any of this stuff.
It wasn't. When do you think? I guess I noticed about Black Friday is when I started noticing that there would be people in here constantly. Like, there would be days where you wouldn't leave the front of the shop unless you need to use the restroom or whatever. There were constantly people in here.
Yeah.
I think that was about the time that we started having more days like that. And now that's a pretty common thing, that maybe there's times when people aren't here, but there's not many.
Not very many.
There's
a lot more times where there's multiple people here, either talking or selling or buying, than there is with zero.
Yeah.
And that didn't use at the beginning of the year. That wasn't that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I don't know what has changed about that. I don't know what in the market has changed about that. Like, oh, now I do. Now I know.
They come here and see me. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna have to close that curtain.
It's the talent.
I'm the face.
I'm the face. You're the face.
No,
you're the face.
I'm not.
I'm the man behind the curtain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the wizard.
All controlled by the shipping department.
The great and wonderful Oz.
So, I would say I'm bullish on the current market, and I'm bullish on the hobby, and wait and see what happens with this Fanatics thing till we know more about it.
Yeah.
So just keep doing what we're doing until somebody tells us that's not the way to do it.
I do think though that this is going to be the year 2022 is going to be the year when people start making their decisions about whether this is their career or whether this is something that they enjoyed doing when it was good. You know, there's going to be a lot of decisions made in 2022. There's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of YouTube channels that transfer into different content instead of sports cards. There's going to be a lot of shops that close. There's going to be a lot of different things like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not a bad thing. It's the industry adjusting itself after the market has adjusted itself.
I'm with you.
And then Fanatics is going to give their licensing back and tell everybody that they made a really bad mistake.
Hot take. Yeah.
So I mean I think you're gonna see that. I don't know, we'll see. But it just, I mean, there's so many people coming in and selling out right now that there's just not, like, we have business every day, and you'll continue to be busy, you know, all throughout this year. There's no doubt. It could go back to what it was like 6 months ago, where there's more downtime and stuff, and that's fine. But
we'll be more organized, that's for sure.
Yeah. If we got more time, we'll be more organized.
If I can sit back there for 30 minutes or 45 minutes and get something done.
Yeah. Gosh. What's it going to be like?
Yeah, you guys aren't going to like that. I have no idea what goes on back here. Just like you have no idea what goes on up front.
That's a good thing.
You guys, I have no idea what goes on back here.
That's a good thing.
That's probably good, yeah.
Let me see here. I wish Josh was watching. I like turtles.
I have no idea what that means, but I know I bought them.
You didn't buy them. Your money did.
Oh, okay.
Your wife bought them. It's a gesture to
so nice.
Her employees.
It's so nice of her. That was your birthday present.
Yeah. She just tell her just to give me cash.
Okay, deal. She's probably watching.
I hope so.
So, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
If we're not snowed in, we're going to have another New Year's Day come just hang out party.
Yeah. Is it supposed to snow?
Some boxes. Saturday. It's supposed to start snowing at 3 a.m., 2 to 4 inches.
Tomorrow is New Year's Eve.
Uh-huh.
I don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care.
No.
I was just looking forward to watching college football games. Gosh. Saturday's New Year's Day. Nate's going to be sorting vintage cards on Saturday and Sunday.
There you go.
I'm going to get my eBay auctions up.
Whatever you do at midnight on New Year's Eve is what you're going to be doing all year. That could not be more true for you.
That is no joke.
We don't ever.
No joke.
We don't ever do anything. So
you could say that about midnight on any holiday, basically. At 3 a.m. on Christmas morning, I realized I needed to figure out a way to list more stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
Because I was not able to keep up with it, but
it's a good thing.
Love finds a way.
It's a good problem to have.
Life finds a way.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
We appreciate y'all being here. You know, don't listen to too much of what we say.
Right.
But if we're entertaining, that's enough for us.
And by the way, it's just to tell everybody, because I want everybody that wants in to get in. Customer Appreciation Week. For every $25 you spend, you get a ticket to go in the drawing. We're giving away a choice of a $500 gift certificate or a signed Patrick Mahomes full-size helmet.
It's like a $1,500 value.
Yeah, second place is $100. Well, to give away a bunch of $25 ones, a bunch of blasters, and maybe a mega or two. All that's going to happen Saturday night. Hopefully, if we're not snowed out. So
It's supposed to snow
2 to 4 inches Saturday from noon to 4 or whatever it was.
Really?
I mean, in the evening.
I got a front wheel drive Toyota Corolla, so that's not going to stop me.
Yeah, I may just spend the night here tomorrow. So we'll 99% be here.
Oh, we've got the new couch.
Oh, geez,
I
Louise.
might stay here too.
Might.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. Theodore,
what's up, man?
Geoff.
He owns CNN now. He's the CNN of sports cards.
Update. Cards are hot.
Yeah, cards are hot. Top 5 cards.
Oh, hot.
Knowing YouTube, as soon as we stop this, your next video will be Geoff. Knowing YouTube.
Y'all have a wonderful night.
Good
Thanks
night,
for being
everyone.
here. See ya.